Hi everyone. So recently my friend decided to move to the city and she was going through hell because it was really difficult to find an apartment. All the apartments were going very fast. Every time she used to find something that used to fit her criteria, it would already be gone, or the price range would be too high, or she would have to each time keep checking the website for new offers. It was really difficult for her. So I thought, how to help her? Maybe I'll make a Power BI report for that. And it'll help her to find the apartments offers that meet her criteria. She'll find the average price in the city, what she should pay. What I did was to connect the Power BI report to the website that has all the offers from the city and then make analysis over it, like find the average price of the apartment in the city so that she knows the range and the filters, for example, finding offers which are negotiable or finding offers which have apartment which is between 35 meters square to 45 meters square, and which areas are the cheapest, which areas have a lot of offers, and so on. So all this was done in the Power BI report. If you're working in real estate, if you searching for an apartment in your city, and even if you're just learning Power BI, instead of working with boring sales data from a company, why not to work with something that we could relate to? So making a connection to the offers on the website of your city and then analyzing those offers and comparing, for example, your rent with the average rent of the city. So it's a great project. Let's get started with it. So here is, we have mapped the places, we have the offers per area and also the price per meter square. We can filter through negotiable offers or non-negotiable, and the offers that were refreshed, so we can negotiate more on them. What we need to do first is to get the link of the website. We need to connect Power BI with the website that has the offer. Now, in your case, might be that in your country, different website is used, which has the most offers. And might be that you have two or three websites which have offers over there. So you can connect all of them to Power BI. In our case, I am working with Krakow, a beautiful city in Poland. And in Poland, usually the offers are mostly on OLX, a website very famous in Poland. And this is the website. And here we have most of the offers. So I'll connect my Power BI report to this website. Don't worry if this website is not in your country. You can use any website that works in your country. The steps would be the same. So what we'll do is, first step is to connect the Power BI with this website and then transform the data and then load it for visualizations. So the first step on the website is to navigate, because this website has a lot of offers. What we want is the apartments in Krakow, in the city. So what we need to do is to first navigate in the website what we want. So we want apartments for rent, yeah, in Krakow. Okay, so we see here the apartments, but this link isn't the correct one. So what we need to do is apartment for rent. Yeah, so we see over here, here's the apartment. We have slash rent slash Krakow. So all our criteria is in the link, and this will remove. And we see here all the offers. Now, notice that what is missing in the link is the page number. So if you press page 2, you see page 2 pops on the link. Actually, in page 1 also the page 1 is there, but because it's page 1, it's removed. So what we need to do is have this as well, because this number is the part of the link that will be dynamic, that we'll use to change accordingly and get all the pages in the website. So we have 25 pages. So get started, we copy the link. We actually put page 1 and then we copy. Now we go to Power BI. And Power BI, what we need to do is to get data, and we need to get data from where? We need to get data from web. Get data from web, we go to others, and here we see web. Connect. And here we have to put the link, and we can put it over here. All right, so it loaded the tables that are on the page. We can also give an example, provide guide Power BI which data to extract. But in this case, if you see table 1, we have all the information here. We have the titles, the price, 2,400 PLN. We have the city plus when it was posted, the ad. I know it could be a bit tricky because it's in Polish. Here we have the meter square, how big is the apartment, and if you can negotiate or not on this. All right, so we have everything. So we take this one and we will not load it. We need to transform the data because we need to split some of the columns, remove some of the columns, and also we need to remove this ZL from there, from the prices. So we'll transform the data. And now Power Query opened. Power Query, we will use Power Query to make the transformations. So to make the transformations, let's Power Query loaded the table. This was a table before I loaded. Okay. So we'll change it to apartments. Website. All right. Now what we want to do is to make the transformations. Here we have the query. We have one query, which is loading the data from the website to the Power Query. And we have on the right side the steps. So 3 steps the Power Query already applied for us. And what we want to do is to give more steps, and these steps will be saved. So each time there are new offers, it will go through these steps and be transformed and then loaded. So we don't have to repeat these steps anymore in future. Just move this away. So every step that we'll do over here will be recorded. We can see over here that it's being recorded. And so we have the table over here. Let's first change the column names. Call it title, amount, area. Notice that this column has area, but also it has which date it was posted. So we have to split this later on. We'll call this column meter square. How big is the apartment? This column we could remove. It's not needed. And also this one, because this says if it can be observed or not, which in our case we can observe every apartment. This is the apartment which says that it's negotiable or not. This do negotiacji means it's negotiable. So what we'll do is we'll rename it to negotiable. What we have to take care of is the data types as well, but we'll do that later on. For now, all the columns have the correct names. Now we'll do further transformations. One transformation that we have to do is that we need to remove this do negotiacji because it's here already mentioned, and we want to remove it from the amount and also the ZL. So what we're going to do is to every time I want to replace something, I always click one of the cells and then copy it from there. So I make sure that I don't make any mistake. And what we are going to do is to transform. Each time you want to make changes in the column, you go to transform and do these steps. If you want to add another column based on the information on this column, then you use this tab and these functionalities. Over here, we will transform and replace values. We want to replace this with nothing. And it's gone. So another replace we want to make is now the ZL. I'll use the another, so again I'll copy the letters because these are special letters because you're working with the foreign language, so this is not in fact an L but a wow. So you replace it with nothing, and now we can convert this into a number format. Seems to be perfect now. What we want to do is to replace m square. For now we'll skip this area one, so we want to remove this m square from the value. So we'll copy it, select the whole, replace, value to found, replace with nothing, and then there we have it. Last step, also we want to change it to decimal number. And now the last step over here we want to do is to change this to negotiable or not negotiable, because this is the column we'll use for filtering. So what we'll do is replace values, and again, because when you're dealing with foreign language, it's better to copy it and use this. So value to find, replace with this one. Oh, so value to find, replace with negotiable. All right, this changed to the offers which are negotiable, and we also want to replace these nulls with non-negotiable. So we have two kinds of offers only, negotiable and non-negotiable. All right, that's fine. Now what we want to do in this, which is the last column left with the problem, is we need to split this column, and to do that we need to find a common thing which is going to be the delimiter to split this column. We see the dash because the area, and then there's dash, and then the date. So what we'll do is, first off, we'll select the area, and then we'll go to home, and then split column, and we are going to split by delimiter. So to split by delimiter, what is the delimiter? It's a dash, right? And it needs to be from the rightmost delimiter. Why rightmost? Because might be the area has dash as well. Just to make sure, I want that it will be from the right side, so only the date would be on the posting date would be separated. And we move, and we see that we have the addresses over here. It's Krakow City and the area, and here we have the when it was posted. Now, one or two things to consider. Okay, I think now everything is fine over here. What we'll do now is so there's still further transformation needs to be done for this column, which we'll call it date of post, or we just call it date, but we'll do it later on. So what we need to realize over here is that it is only right now the Power Query has only imported the data for one page, and because if we go to source, we see that only page 1 information is there. We haven't made it dynamic yet. What we want is all the pages, so we need to change this 1 with a variable, and this variable should be from 1, it should be a list, so it should be from 1 till 25 because there were 25 pages on the website. To do that, I will first off go to the last step, go to advanced editor. So here we have the code. You see all these steps that we did are recorded here. What we want to do is go before let, and then here we put a bracket, page n as text. This is going to create this variable which will be taken from another table and will be fed into this link. Right now it wouldn't be fed because there is nowhere mentioned page n over here. We need to change this number, page 1, so we remove it, and after the quotation marks we put and we put the page n. Now each time it will when we will call this function, it will take the value of this, put it in the link, and then make it as a source and do these steps what we find. Let's see what is the error over here. Yeah, what is missing is this, and now we have no syntax error has been detected. This table turned into a function means we did it correctly. Now we need to enter a new blank query. We need a list of 25. In your web case, whichever website you're trying to extract data, you need to put you need to check how many pages it has and create a list for those many pages. In our case, it's till 25. So what I'll do is to create list in Power Query. It's pretty easy. You open the curly bracket, you put 1 dot 25, and this will create a list for me till 25. Second step is to convert it into a table. Okay, now then third step is to add a column and call this function over here. To do that, invoke function. We call this new column name could be apartments table 1. It's referring to table 1, which is the function actually, and this is the variable that we created, and which column it should take it from. Right now we will have only one column, so we'll take column 1. One step that we forgot to do is to make it as a text, because it will be inserted into the link as a text, because it's a text value. So, and this is an option that where we can go back and see what we did earlier and change things. So we changed the data type, and then now if we call, you see instead of error there are tables. Now these tables we can expand them. We want all the columns, so here we did, because I don't want the default column name prefix over there, so I will remove that and then do it. Each time you want to go back and change the step, you can just use this applied steps and just see what you want to do and change over there. So now we have all the columns that we first transformed. we need to deal with the date column because this is a very messy date. It doesn't serve any value to us. What we want to do is to first, there are two kinds of information. Although we have the date when it was posted, we have also the information that it was refreshed today or was it posted today. So what we will do is we'll base another and we can take value out of it because my friend could check and see that this offer kept refreshing, so she could negotiate on that. And to do that, we'll add a column. This time you're not transforming but adding a column. So to add a column, we go to this tab, and what we want to do is to add a conditional column, and we'll copy this, add a conditional column, and what we're going to add is we'll choose the column name, and then if it contains this words, if yes, then what will happen? Then I want that it should say refreshed, or else it should say old tab. And if you go to date, we also see that this was posted today, but it's saying old because we only gave one condition to it. We need to give another condition where we will say, but in order to do that, I need to copy, right? I need to copy the column, the name, because I cannot type it. I add another clause, contains, so else if date contains this value, say posted today. Right, and now what we will do is to remove these wordings from the date. We have the column over here. Now we need to remove, and to do that, again, to transform, replace values, what we want to replace, and we want to replace it with nothing. And there's another kind, so we do again the same and replace it with nothing. This will remove from the whole column these three categories. Replace with nothing. Okay, now we just have the date of posting. Actually, because if you see over here, this in fact says this. So when we're copying this, forgot to copy one letter, it's O, so I need to put it over here. Yeah, this will make sure all the letters are gone. Yeah, now we just have which date it was posted, and nothing else. Yep. Now we can convert this into a date time, and you see over here that it converted into date time. Before, this was posted in 20 February, so it was written in Polish language, but you see that it has converted everything into date time, and now we have all the information. The last very important step, but before that, let's remove this column. This represents the page number, so these are all from page 1, then page 2, and so on. We can remove this. Now we need to provide the data types, because Power Query needs to understand what kind of data it is, or else when Power BI will visualize it, we will not be having calculations. So this is what we'll do is to select all and detect data types. So we have titles as text, amount as number, area, text, date, meter square as decimal number. Okay, everything seems fine. What else we can do is to, right, everything is fine now. So what we can do is to just close and load it.